Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing the next 5 stages. It's stages 124 to 128 of the Fanhome release. I build the 1/6 scale Mustang GT500. Why have I got such a big grin on my face? I've got a big grin on my face because this build just makes me laugh. It's so heavy and it's so big. It's impossible to film. It's impossible to lift. I did weigh it last video that I did. I gave you the wrong weights. It's actually about 17 to 18 pound. I don't know what that equates to kilograms or anything like that, but it is heavy. And today we are going to be working solidly still on the outer shell, so I believe we might be putting the doors and the windows in and the headliner. I think that's what we're doing today, which does mean I had to separate everything up again. The reason you can't see it at the moment is because if I bring it up here, it means I've got to put it down on the floor and pick it up and put it down on the floor, and by that time I'll be a beefcake, so I don't want to be doing that. So I don't think this is available. I have put the original link in the video description there, and the QR code is on the screen. If you follow that QR code and follow the link to this build, I think it just takes you to a home page at the moment, but prove me wrong. Check out the site and see if it's there for yourself. Anyway, let's see what we're doing. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so we are on ultra zoom out camera today. As you can see, all my cameras have been zoomed out today. We got the rear window and we're just putting that in like that, so that is amazingly quick. Obviously we've got the doors which we haven't put in yet, but there you go. That's all we're going to be doing in that stage. Now I'm having to put both of these parts together to stage 125, because in stage 124 it's just showing you where it's going. You don't actually do anything. So with stage 125 we've got the frame here which we actually put on top of that window just like this, and we're going to be screwing it in from the underside there. We have got an antenna to put into place there as well. So at the end, that's how that's looking. So 2 stages together. Let's do this. So I'm trying to keep my fingers off of it. This is what the rear window looks like. Let's get this in the right way. It's going in this way and fits in perfectly like that. Then I've got the frame and some screws. And obviously we've got the aerial in here as well. So we've got these lugs, which we're going to be pushing into the holes around the edge there. So I'm putting the top in first, and then ensuring they're all fitting flush in there like this. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to need to turn it over, and I want to put these in with these PS12 screws. Little tiny screws, these ones. So I don't want this falling out when I turn it over. So I am just going to now just put some painter's tape on both sides here. And I think I'm going to do them on this edge as well here, because when I put the screws in, it's going to try and push that frame up. And I don't know if I'm going to get my hands behind it. So put the mat down. Oh my God. And turn this over. Wow, that is heavy. Okay, so we've got 8 screw holes to put this in with these tiny screws. So I'm not putting much pressure. Like, I can actually get my hand behind there, so that's good. But what we don't want to do is over tighten these. Otherwise we are going to end up just rounding this, because that plastic frame is quite delicate. But I'll get all 8 of these screws into place. I am using a PH00 screwdriver for this as well, because these screws are tiny. But this is the last one going in here. There we go. Windows in place. All that's left to do then is, if I just move this whole thing over, hopefully you can see it. You see I've got a hole just here. That's for this aerial mount, which I'm pushing in from the other side. It has got a keyhole pattern, so it's only going to let me put this in one way. And what I've actually done is I've managed to put this in without having to turn the car over. Now it's held in with a PS05 screw, which I'm just tightening up here now. Perfect. I'm going to turn this over now. And you can see how that goes on there. And then what we would be doing is taking the aerial here, and the aerial is going to be going in there. But obviously, we're still going to be turning this thing upside down and stuff. So I'm just going to keep this aerial safe for now. And that is all there is to do in that stage. Okay, so stage 126 is the magazine. And as you see, we've got the door trims and door sills here that we're going to be putting into place. Once again, we haven't actually been asked to put the doors in yet. So I'm just going to get those in, looking like that. And once again, I'm going to bring the car up. And on the top camera there, this is what the door trims look like. Let's get this open. And it is probably best to do this on the side camera. Trim looks like this. This is just going to be going in here like that. So this is the left side of the car. Now I'm holding these in with PS27 screws. So I'll lie it back down again. And I'm going to need 4 of these screws. So let's get them in. That's the last one just got in there. So let me just show you once again how that looks. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. So again, we'll get this lined up. We do have just some locating lugs on here, which is helping us. And once again, 4 screws to get that screwed in. It is actually easier to do it on the opposite side. Excellent, so that's both of those trims in there. And then all that's left to do is to put these seals in. They are stamped, so this is the left side here, and they're going to go in just like this. Push this into place. Perfect. I'll do the same on the other side. These aren't screwed in, just so you know. Let me just get these wires out of the way. They are just pushing, you see. Perfect. And hopefully you can see that. That's the seal in. That's all there is to do in that stage. Okay, so the penultimate stage here is the stage 127. And as you can see, we've got the front roof interior and the sun visors that we're going to be doing. So that's looking like that. I can probably zoom up the camera for a second. You can see what I mean about why I'm laughing now. It's just so big. I've been saying that since I first opened pack 1 though. Now, as you'll probably notice, there's no screws in this pack at all. All we're going to be doing is putting this into place. And basically this is going to go on here just like that. And the other one, again, put this side in first and then clip that down there. So the final stage of this pack, I really should have put those two together, shouldn't I? Because we're going to actually attach the headline in, but I'm going to keep the close-up camera detail on because, as you see, we've got the rear view mirror in here that we've got to create, putting this together just like that, and then we are going to be putting this inside that outer body shell. So that's how it's going to look at the end of this pack. And this is the rest of the magazine. So here's the last pack here. Let's get everything out. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the rear view mirror. So I need this base first, and I'm going to need the holder for the mirror. And quite simply, this has got a D-shaped pattern on, which is just going to follow the D-shaped pattern in the back of the mirror frame here. I've then got the actual mirror. So with this mirror here, I'm going to be putting this onto this mirror base here. And what I'll do is, once I've got this lined up, just like that, I'm going to actually flatten it with my glasses cleaner here. Get rid of any fingerprints on there. So that should look like that. Now this does have some protective plastic on that, which what I'm going to do is just rub up the side just like that, but I'm not going to take that off yet completely until I'm ready to close the car up. Then I will take that off. And then it's just a case of pushing that in there. So that's how it's looking at the moment. What I'm going to do is then put the rear view mirror in. So the rear view mirror has a keyhole pattern, so that's going to go in just like this here. and it's held in with a PS05 screw. Then I'm going to piece both of these parts of the headliner together now. So this is just going to be going over the top here. Bearing in mind that when I screw this in, obviously, we don't want to put too much pressure on here, otherwise we're going to break that mirror we just put in. But once again, PS05 screws to hold that in. We're going to need 3 of these. And as you can see, for that reason, that's why when I'm putting this together, I am lifting this off my work surface. And last one in here. And this is now ready to go in the car. So what I'm going to do, before I do that, is I've got some blankers here which are going to hide the screw holes in a second. So I'm going to cut them off now. We've got 2 large ones and then 2 small ones. Make sure I've got no wires trapped. I'm going to be putting this headlining into place just here. Perfect. And I'm holding it in with these DSO2 screws. So a bit of oil, because they're going into metal. We need 4 of these. Then I'm going to use these blankers here to hide the screw holes. Now there is a little notch on here which is going to help me put these in the right way. So 1 in there, and I'll do the others for the other 3. The 2 small ones are at the back, 2 big ones at the front. And there you go, they're all in place. So with them in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. Just trying to now figure out, can I get this back on the body of the car? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, I can. This is how big the car is at the moment. I'm putting it down, what, 17 pound. I'm not a weightlifter. I can't bench press anything, but whew, you do get your workout for that. So I'm guessing in the next pack, we must be mounting the doors, connecting the electrics, and it's done. Is the next pack finished? I don't know how many stages this is. I really don't. But it is looking almost finished. But what an impressive car. What I will do when we actually finish this car is I'll put this up against another 1.8 vehicle. You can see just how big this actually is. But oh, I'm out of breath once again. You can tell what this is like. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.